Hi everyone, it's me, Nikki, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing, if you like X, you might like Y. I've seen this before, but it's usually with specific books. Like if you like Percy Jackson, you might like Lore or Circe or something like that, you know. But I decided to do series because it really depends on the person. Like, just because I like Greek stuff doesn't mean that somebody else is going to. So let's get started. The first one I came up with was, oh dear, if you like Star Wars, you might like the Miles Kosigan saga. This by Louis McMaster Bujold. I've talked about two of her fantasy books, but this was actually the very first thing I read by her. I read it a long time ago. I do plan on rereading it because there are a lot of books in the series. The last one, Wikipedia tells me, was 2018. So this book is about Miles and he does something. I can't quite remember, but it's the start of the series, basically. It's set in a... I don't think it's like Earth, but it is science fiction-y. This one was published in 1986, so it was probably influenced by Star Wars. Not sure. I'm sure a lot of sci-fi was influenced by Star Wars. But Miles is not human. I don't think they have humans or whatever. I can't quite remember. But he is a... where is it? Barian and a Baton. Those are just some planets. He has physical impairments. So he is... he's short, 4'9", and I believe he has like brittle bones, or yes, he has easily broken bones, but they were replaced with synthetics because he has brittle bones like Joker from Mass Effect. So he also has kind of a shitty family. I do remember that, and I believe they are explored upon more in the book. But yeah, it is a long-running series. Like I said, the most recent one was 2018, and it is mostly from Miles's point of view, but there are a couple other books from people that he knows or he's related to or whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of characters. There's space travel. There is politics. There is fighting. I think they're fighting. There's romance. There's all kinds of stuff. So I think if you like the Star Wars universe, you would definitely like the Verkos-Gideon saga, as Wikipedia says. But I still don't know how to say that last name. My apologies. Next. This one might be a bit of a reach, especially seeing as I've never seen The Walking Dead or read it. But I think if you like The Walking Dead, you might like The Expanse. This is the first book, Leviathan Wakes. And I only say that because based on what I know of cultural osmosis of The Walking Dead. It has a... I wouldn't say a large, but there is a cast of characters, and they're like a family unit type of thing. There's zombies. There's... well... that they're fighting zombies the whole time in The Walking Dead. And in The Expanse, again, it's not a large cast of characters. There's 4 sort of main ones on that are the family unit, and you have others coming in and out. This is probably at times more political than The Walking Dead. Again, I've never seen it. Let's see, how many books have I read? 4? And some characters have died. Some have been, there's been peril, much like The Walking Dead. There are, who's the guy with the bat? I remember the guy with the bat. And there's like other, like, a zombie or any kind of apocalypse, there would be people who hole up and sort of like become megalomaniacs. That kind of stuff happens in the series. There's lots of different points of views, which is fun. This is also a TV show with a diverse cast, which I believe The Walking Dead has as well. Again, I don't know a lot about The Walking Dead. This was like the first thing that came into my head. I was like, what can The Expanse, what can that be like? And I was like, well, The Walking Dead. Just because of the cast of characters that become like that family unit, and you don't want anything to happen to them. But sometimes stuff happens to them. So, again, I think I'm only on book 5 or 4. I'm looking at my bookshelf behind me. So more, and there's 8, and there's a 9th one coming out. So more people might die. We don't know. You could also do The Expanse was also the one I wasn't sure about for Star Wars. So, but it's not as, I wouldn't say Leviathan Wakes or The Expanse is as epic. Like Star Wars is epic, and the Vorkosigan saga seems epic, whereas also The Expanse books are like little contained adventures that sort of have like a yearly, you know, like it happens in year 1, and then 2 years later there's another little adventure. And that's also like The Walking Dead, to me at least, from the bits that I've been able to pick up, that they're just sort of getting by, and that's what this is about as well. So next is, this one is probably a bit obvious, but if you like Lord of the Rings, you will probably like Dragonlance, because I believe, let me check, I believe Dragonlance is based off of a D&D. Yeah, it was a D&D thing. And D&D itself is also 1974. Let's check things. Yeah, and the books were published, and so Dungeons and Dragons is probably itself a little bit based off Lord of the Rings. But I think not only because there's like elves and dwarves and humans and dragons, but there's more. There's like your halflings and stuff like that. That's all your basic fantasy stuff. But again, it's sort of like an epic fantasy adventure, and it might be a bit easier to get into, like, because Tolkien, he's obviously writing from, like, he's basing it off the Norse mythology and stuff like that. So that's sort of the writing style he's going for. Like, it's a history, and those are a bit sometimes boring, not boring, but dry and hard to get into. The Hobbit is different because that was for his kids, but Lord of the Rings is like a history of this epicness. So this is a little easier to get into. It's broken up, like this is volume 1, and then there's another set about most of the same characters, and so yeah, they always come back. That's my basis for that. Again, it might be a little obvious, but that's what I'm going for. Obvious, no, but that's, I'm trying to like combine what I think would work, you know, so. And then, this one I had a little difficulty with. If you like the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, obviously you're gonna like you might like the Marvel comics or DC comics or whatever. But I couldn't think of like a book series. And I'm sure there's one out there, but it's not coming to my mind. So, I picked my tried and true One Piece. Because, again, it's an epic, like, I don't think when they made Iron Man, the first one, they knew what was going to happen in Endgame, but once they sort of made that first Avengers movie, I think they sort of knew where everything was going. Maybe they made it up a little bit as they went along, I'm not sure. But it's an epic, and there's a big cast of characters with lots of different backstories and abilities and humor levels. Like Tony is more snarky and Cap is more serious at the beginning. Then as time goes on, you know, everybody changes because the years have passed. They've seen some shit. New characters come in, like Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. You meet some weird creatures like Rocket the Raccoon and Groot. Stuff like that, you know. And One Piece, that's the back, this is the front, is an epic spanning over years. And you have a diverse cast of characters. You have your main Avenger group, who get new members as Luffy, whenever he feels like somebody needs to be a member. But then you have like characters who just come in to help for a little bit, or you know, they're on their adventure and they meet over here new characters that come and go and that they've helped. So that was my reasoning for that. And you've got a lot of cool characters and badass characters, and yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I'm biased because I love One Piece and I want everyone in the world to read it. And I am sure there's a book series out there that isn't based on superheroes, but that's the closest I could get to like a superhero. So yes, that's my reasoning. I might do this again, come up with some more sort of like big names like Final Fantasy or Mass Effect or Assassin's Creed or something. That would be cool. So maybe I think I'd like to do this again. But yeah, so that was my video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a lovely day. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.